I don't know if you can hear them. We have a little visitor underneath there. Can't tell what he's doing. A little mouse or something. So much for my cats. Well, we might be seeing a little surprise guest here in a little bit. Hey guys, it's another evening of working on the back house here. This evening I'm going to be working on a header. We're working on this phase 2 portion, which will be the living space. So, we're working on the master bedroom and the living space. That'll kind of be a little, I guess, foyer area. I'm not sure what you'd call it. It'll be kind of part of the kitchen entryway. That portion's pretty much done. Got all of the windows, siding, not siding, but substrate siding will come. And I'm just kind of working our way down the way here. So we'll be working on the living room next. The fireplace is going to be coming out, and we'll be going back with a wood burning stove. I think the idea behind that is doing something that's somewhat self-sufficient from the standpoint of heating and the ability to cook on it as well. These wood burning stoves have come so far. There's a couple thoughts behind that. One, we just have always wanted to have a wood burning stove. That's something that we've talked about, but something that's usable, something that will double as a heat source and a good heat source. So that's something that we're looking at, some different options. So would love to see some suggestions. Kind of comment down in the comment section below, and just if you have some good ideas. We're doing some research on it, but we'd love to hear your ideas on it. The other would be of possibly just having a secondary kind of emergency cooking spot. So back in 21, when that big freeze went through the area, at that point we were living a little farther north and had the snow, and the snow was fun for a good couple hours until there was no electricity and there was no heat source, no way to cook food. Had plenty of canned food, no way to warm it up. And I said, not ever again am I going to go through that. So I think one of the ideas as well on this portion will be putting a outlet for a generator as well. So just a backup generator. So there's that option should that ever happen. So between the heat source, the generator, to be able to keep your freezer and refrigerator going, which I guess at that point, if there was a freeze, you could just put it outside. But, just having those options for it. So here is our nightly visitor. We had Coco earlier, but she decided to go hunting, as she is so very good at. It's William. William is the most cat that you could have. William, come here. Sometimes he comes, sometimes he doesn't. So William showed up here when he was a kitten. He was just barely crawling, him and his brother, and we were able to save him. There's more fleas on him than you'd know what to do with, so we cleaned him up, and he's been a pain ever since. Sometimes I wonder why I saved him, because he is the biggest pain in the rear ever. But I probably would just rename him Garfield, but he is a pain. So if anyone wants a cat, I'm not too attached to him, even though we saved him. We have another one around here, and she'll show up here in a little bit. Coco, that is a lot more personable, and actually is a cat that I really do like, just because she's more of a dog than a cat. But she's a fantastic hunter, and that works well here for catching snakes and mice, and we have a lot of what's called pocket gophers, so it's good to get them out of the pasture with the horse and the goats and everything. So with this, every piece of wood that you have has a crown, whether slight or heavy, on it, and it's where it will crown or rise on one side, and then the lower side is your bottom. So it's a little more strength and enables you to put it the right way. So you want to make sure that as you're doing this, you're finding the crown, how it's set up, and what happens is we'll find it on the next one, sandwich them together, and go from there. So what I like to do, and there's different ways of doing it, but what I like to do is get my construction adhesive. So for this, I'm using the PPG liquid nails This one actually is a subfloor and deck, but you can use others. I have this extra from doing the subfloor, so I'm going to use it. Just like to serpentine down the way. If I find knots or holes, I like to fill them up. Just gives a little more grip for the glue. Against the pressure on the glue as I'm walking on glue. Now I like to use plywood. You can use other depths. The depth for this equals, so you have 1.5 inch, 3, and then I'm using a 1/2 inch plywood. If I'm yelling, I don't mean to be. I'm still, like I said, getting over this cold here. So I like to split the difference. Just rip to about 5 1/4. Find the crown first before gluing, so you're gonna stick it down. This is going to be our top side. Now, a good way to do this is something that I don't have with me right now. But it's good to use a clamp on this. It works well. Now, since I'm not using all of this, I like to just use a screw, plug the hole, it's released so it's not pressurizing out. Just get this out now. Got the screws, they were not over here. So what I'm going to do, add my 2 squares. Then gets centered up. It does not have to be perfect in the middle. With my plywood, that's just a spacer, but I do like having it. What I'll do here is I'll do that in a sec, but a couple of screws. That glue likes to move stuff around on me. Got everything of where I want it. Now what I like to do is go a couple down so I can kind of have a little more leverage. Like I said, as you go down, it's going to work its way back and forth. So I'll alternate sides. On this time, I'm going to on this side, push it that way. What I like to do with having the glue, it takes out for some of the screws. It is good. More is better on this one, but I will. These windows are going to be coming out so that they can match up with these windows. We're going back and forth on whether we're going to put 2 windows here or 3. We did buy enough to buy 3, but with the living area kind of coming in a little bit, so actually you can kind of see where this pink line is. There's some pink spray paint that I lined it out with. That's roughly where it's going to come out to. So there'll be space in here still, but it will all shift this way. And here's some of the flooring that has come up. So you can see, as I was talking about earlier, here's that press board that they just took a sledgehammer, pounded it down. We put these boxes down here, and my dad actually came over and was helping me rip stuff up. So we put these boxes just so there's less of that adhesive that we were going to be stepping on from the subfloor, but you could tell here and see and everything that I'm still walking around on it. So I think the idea, one of the thoughts that we have is going back with 2 windows. So taking, these are 29-inch right now, which is pretty standard of a mobile home. We're going to be going back with 36-inch windows. So it'll be the same height off the floor, same exactly as what we actually have in. So instead of 60 inches wide, we'd be looking at 72 inches wide. So you do have a little more glass space. If we go back with 2, I would love to have 3 for the lighting, but I just think it's going to be too much, especially with going back with a fireplace in this area. We still are deciding on whether of putting it to the side of the home or putting it in the center right here. If it's in the center, doesn't matter, we can put 3 windows in. If it's to the side and the flue goes out the siding there, then it will need to be over there. So just these are the contemplations that we're having right now. So above that area is where that header I just built is going to go. So it's long enough for 3 windows if we end up doing that. If not, then it will be for 2 windows, and we'll have some left over for another window in another room for a single. But it's just some of the decisions that we're going through and trying to figure out. If you can hear that, we have a little visitor underneath there. Can't tell what he's doing. A little mouse or something. So much for my cats that are gone. Well, we might be seeing a little surprise guest here in a little bit. See, and you'll see this a lot in mobile homes. You have the ductwork traveling underneath, AC breaks, so they go back and they close the hole in and close the hole in. Weigh 300 pounds and step through the floor. Just continue. So we're going to be going back to the different AC. As you've seen, we're pulling out this ductwork, which has just been nasty. But time to continue on the demo. Got some help this evening. We'll be working on some more subfloor in the living room here. And we took out this wall the other evening with the subfloor underneath it so we could put a new joist underneath there, rim joist, and ended up not getting any video that evening, but ran into some termite issues. So figured we'd take a break on it until I could get some more material and then also get some termite treatment. So we're going to be putting that on before we close everything up here, and just kind of taking some bite sizes at it. And right here is what we'll be taking up. So kind of saw before all of this was taken up, but this is coming out so that we can get some of these flooring joists removed. There's some that had some slight termite damage on the edge. Those are marked by pink. I spray paint them just so we could make sure to replace those. So those will be coming out and then putting in, hopefully, the goal this evening is to get the subfloor removed, get these joists put in place, and then at least 1, possibly 2 pieces of the starter subfloor underneath it. So probably won't get a lot of video this evening, but I'll do some before and after shots and we'll go from there. But we did get a new door. We were going to do a project of doing a refinish and a redo of this door as metal. I'm going to do some Bondo and some tips to kind of show you how you could do that. But by the time it was all said and done, it's going to be cheaper just to get a new door. So there's a local lumber yard here in town that we got a great deal on. Got a new door, no windows, steel door, and ended up being cheaper than doing the repairs and all the time to do that. So that might be a later video of doing one where we kind of just show how to do those repairs on a door, on a steel door. But right now, just to get one in and kind of move along with the project, we ended up going with the other. So that'll be a thing for a later date of putting that door in, but it'll be coming pretty soon here because that's all part of this wall.